You're always waiting for your next hit. I'm feeling kinda motion sick. Is it the doppelganger dopamine?
Today I'm excited to welcome back Helen McDowall to Totally Music, who's joined me to chat about her new song "At Sake of Honesty" and her EP. Heather, welcome back to Totally Music. How have you been?
I've been really good. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to be back. It's one of my favorite places to come and talk about my music. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm excited to have you back on. So you've just released your new song "Sake of Honesty." Would you like to tell us about it?
Yes, Sake of Honesty is like a really meaningful song because it was about a friend of mine who was struggling with sobriety, and I tried to be there for them, and it gets to a point where it's like, do you want to dig yourself like a bigger hole and like be trying so hard for this person if they aren't going to like personally grow? So it's about kind of letting go of that, and like this song's kind of a letter to them in a way, and it's kind of to just say my piece, and I would say it's one of the most personal songs I've ever like put out there. So yeah.
I love it. I think it's great.
Thanks so much.
So what was the creative process like for the song?
So it was actually weird. It wasn't actually intended to go on the EP. I wrote it whilst we were recording the EP at 3 a.m. and I was like, this has to go on the EP. And the the producer I was working with, Toy Box Recording, he was like, I don't get the vision. It should be an acoustic guitar song. I was like, no, it has to be big at the end. He wasn't getting it until like we put it into practice, and then he was like, oh, okay, I get where you're going with this. And then it's, for me, has just turned into my favorite song on there now, which is so cool. But yeah, it was an interesting process. Recording was pretty easy, and then just like making everything so loud at the end, playing loads of plugins on, going, right, this needs to be the loudest thing ever. So yeah, that was great. It was a lovely time to like make that song, very personal as well.
So what are your favourite set of lyrics from the song?
I think there's two. There was like, you may say you're defying life as it stands. We're all waiting for you to be the bigger man. That was like a little connection to how some addicts will sometimes think that they're taking this because they've kind of got like a god complex going on, like that they think that they are indefeatable. So I thought like adding that in was a little interesting to then contrast it being like, whilst you're trying to be this, we're waiting for you to be who you are.
Yeah.
And then I would say that just the hope, I hope you find sobriety, like that little whisper coming in every so often was like such a personal touch.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what was the most challenging thing about the creation of the song?
I would say not getting emotionally too attached. I felt like that I had to at some point step back and think of it as a third person,
Yeah.
because I'm so deeply involved with this. It was like, if I make it too personal, it will be something that I cannot release and make it,
Yeah.
for other people to relate to. It's going to be too much. So it was kind of taking that boundary and being like, right, this is a song.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a third person approaching this song, because I think I would have got too emotional and it would have been way too hard to like make a song that was viable.
So how did you come up with the artwork?
The artwork is really interesting. So I have this concert photographer, photos by Sam. He's incredible. And it was one of these things where I texted him and I was like, hey, I've got a tunnel near where I live. And he was like, okay. And I was like, it looks the part of the EP. He goes, look, that's fine. So he came all the way down, and like I was in this like tall dress, so there's stinging nettles near this area, so he was picking off stinging nettles, like trying. He was like, where are you taking me? And I was like, right. And then we got to this tunnel, and because of the lights in there, he kind of saw what I was going for, and then immediately he clicked on. I did send him a Pinterest board beforehand, but it didn't like feature like stinging nettles and just like a long walk. So I don't think you got the general picture of what I was going for until we got there. But yeah, it was a lovely shoot, very fun. And it was basically trying to evoke emotion. Kind of be like this mysterious, like what can I expect from this, which was nice. And I didn't wear my glasses because A, it was the hottest day of the year when I took it. And B, I kind of wanted it to be like, I don't know how to describe it, like, because this EP is like all my kind of sad, like past self. I kind of wanted myself to look different so that it's like a representation of me being different to like who I am now in a way. So yeah, it was fun. It was lovely. Yeah.
So as you've mentioned, Sake of Honesty is part of an EP that you've just released. Would you like to tell us about it?
Yes, Existential Elixir has been in the making for so long. I came up with the name 2 years ago and I started working on the EP, but it never felt right. Like I even finished a full EP and it just never felt like it was meant to go out yet. So I kept like going on and off. And then this year I promised myself I'm going to release it because I have so much more music coming, but I didn't want to skip this chapter of my life because it was so special. And because I've been on such a high, I just felt like this is a time to have a personal like moment with the people who listen to my music and lay it all out on the table, and then we can like get to like more of the fun stuff. It's a detailed journey into my first few years of being in my 20s, also like the experiences my friends have had and me sitting alongside them and watching it. And very much like you'll notice there's like so many contrasts with songs, so it will go from like soft to loud, loud to soft, like stuff like that. And it's very intentional. Everything in this EP is intentional. There's like hidden messages in it, and it's meant to represent like that kind of scale of start to finish, how like things felt really overwhelming, but then there was a resolve. So yeah, Existential Elixir is really special, and I'm so excited that people can listen to it, which is great. It's amazing.
I was excited when you said you were releasing one. I couldn't wait.
Thank you. That means a lot. Yeah, I feel like not many people thought I would go, because I'd released like quite poppy kind of songs. They weren't expecting me to go like so dark, so that like contrast was cool to like be like, hey, this is different, try this. So yeah, thank you for being excited about it. That means a lot.
So what have you learned from the creation that will help you in the future?
Oh, I've learned so many things. Number one is don't don't try and make something for someone else. I feel like a lot of the time I was so scared of what other people are going to think, and then in the end I was like, well, this is my story, and like the people who listen to me, if they want to tune into my story, they can always click away. And I think also I've just learned to trust my gut. I doubt myself a lot because I'm not really like good with mixing, mastering. I have like engineered parts of this EP, but mostly it was Toy Box Recording who was doing that part. But you know, there's stuff in there that I was really proud that I like created, mixed and mastered. And I think I need to trust my gut more with that kind of stuff, and just, you know, being honest as well, being like your full authentic self and not trying to put on a persona of who you are to appeal to other people. That's what I've learned. That was really long. I'm so sorry.
Great. So what memories will you take away from the creation of the EP?
Oh, so many. I would say there was one day when my band and I it was during the summer we like recorded this, so it was very hot, as you can imagine. And the home studio we work in, there's not a lot of dividers like against the amps. So I got so insane at one point for the underneath. I got a plank of wood and like split these two amps against this plank of wood and then made them sit like have their back facing the amps or something like that, so that like their body's taking in like some of the sound, and it worked. Like that was so funny to like orchestrate that. I think another one is when I nearly lost the whole EP.
Oh dear.
So there was a plugin that was messing with Logic, because Logic's updated recently, and I put on this plugin and it wasn't opening my like EP, and I was like, oh my god, I've lost it. Like I had a whole meltdown, and then it was absolutely fine. Technology's just dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one. And I'd just say, like, just kind of, I think promoting it's been fun. I think like having those little clues in there. But yeah, as a project, I think it's been one of my most fun ones, which is nice.
So finally, what's next for you?
So I have got a few singles coming out
at
the end of this year, and then after that, it's gonna be a new era, new sound, which is gonna be nice. And I'm very excited. I think I'm mainly gonna be performing a lot, but also taking a step back from performing for a little bit. I will still do gigs all the time, but this year I have performed every single month this year and done either 4 to 5 gigs a month, which for one person, that's a lot. So I think I'm gonna be a bit a bit less say yes to everything, but more working on the music side. So that should be great. But yeah,
I'm excited for it.
much.
A massive thank you, Heather, for joining me on Totally Music. If anyone would like to check out Heather's music, I'll leave all the links in the description below for you.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
You may say you're defiant.